favorite people. It's Mrs. Berger.
And Mrs. Lamb.
And we're going to talk about proportion word problems.
Let's look at our learning target. I can identify proportional relationships between two ratios.
Two ratios, maybe sometimes more.
Sometimes that
Yeah, those two equivalent ratios, proportional. All right, so let's rewind a little bit and think about what we know about proportions. So we've talked about we've talked about 4 strategies that we can do to solve proportional relationships or to figure out if two ratios are proportional. So that first one that I love so much are those double number lines. I'm going to do double hashtag lines. Just kidding. That's the number symbol, not the hashtag.
Yeah.
What's another one, Mrs. Lamb?
That butterfly method.
Ooh, the butterfly effect.
Butterfly effect.
Remember that one is when we cross multiply. I'm trying to write fast. Oh my gosh.
You're doing really great, so
I
I'm just
know.
going to let you.
All right,
Going
that
through it.
third strategy that I kind of like because it's easy and I don't have to think about my facts is converting to decimals. And we all know how much we loved Unit 2 with converting to decimals.
But aren't we doing that with a calculator?
We are doing it with a calculator,
Okay.
so it's a lot easier.
So just take the numerator divided by the denominator and then
just
compare the two.
top divided by bottom.
Okay. And number 4, I can't think of right this second.
And 4 is that, that is not a good circle, that common multiplier.
That's
right?
why.
Or common
why.
divisor. So if the top and bottom are being multiplied by the same number, they're proportional. So we gotta think about our 4 strategies, and you don't have to use each one all the time. You just find the one that you like, and then you do it.
Yeah.
Okay. So now let's do it. Let's do some word
I'm ready.
problems. Ooh, I love word problems because it's like a mystery. You have to decode them.
Are you starting with Frankenstein?
You can do it. I talk a lot.
The Frankenstein family decided to decorate the yard for Halloween. They put 8 spiders in webs to every 5 pumpkins around the yard. So I'm seeing what they're comparing, spiders and pumpkins. If they ended up with 15 pumpkins, how many spiders would they have at the same rate?
Ooh,
all right,
lots of
so
words.
we've got to decide our key.
Okay.
All right, so it looks like we have 8 spiders. Ooh, I do have permission. 8 spiders to every 5 pumpkins.
5 pumpkins.
So let's do spiders to pumpkins. Do you mind writing that
I
for
will
me?
write it. Spiders. To pumpkins. Getting me excited about Halloween.
Ooh, I love the Halloween.
Pumpkins.
So I'm going to go ahead and,
Yeah,
oh, that's right. I forget. I can write at the same time. 8 spiders to every 5 pumpkins.
Yes.
So that's our first ratio. That's our key. Now I continue to look in here, and it says if they ended up with 15 pumpkins. And now pumpkins.
Pumpkins is on the bottom.
So my 15 has to go right here.
Yes, because categories have to be across from each other. That's why we make the key. So now we can figure out this missing piece.
How many spiders? Now, the very first one I see of those strategies is the multiplier.
Yeah.
The one that I kind of like, I forgot it.
Yeah.
Because I know that 5 times 3 is 15.
That's true.
So to get this number of spiders, I would just do the same thing and times by 3. So 8 times 3 is 24.
And if you're not great with your facts, break out that calculator and just type it in. 8 times 3 equals 24.
And since we're answering a word problem, we have a word that has to go with the number. So it's 24 spiders, and that's the question it asked. How many
24 spiders. I love it. I love that strategy. Maybe I'll use a different one.
Okay.
All right, so it says Charlie caught 4 bass and 3 sunfish. At that rate, how many bass would he have if he caught 15 sunfish? Okay, let me look. Let me box in my important information. So there's 4 bass to 3 sunfish. And then how many bass would he have if he catches 15 sunfish? Okay, so let's see. So I'm going to do bass to sunfish. Right? And so here's my original ratio, right? The original setup, bass to sunfish. So there's 4 bass for 3 sunfish. So how many bass for 15? Well, the 3, 15, 5 scenario is happening. But I'm going to use a different strategy this time. So I'm going to use a double number line.
I knew it. I was kind of
because I like those double number lines so I can visually see all of these equivalent relationships. And I can count by 4 and 3. So I'm going to have this be my bass and this be my sunfish. I'm just going to put SF for sunfish. Right? So this one I'm increasing by 4 and this one I'm counting by 3s. So I'm going to get from 3 to 15. So I have 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, right? So I can stop there, and then I'm going to line up my little dashes, right?
Every time you do this, I learn more about it. Yeah.
So I'm going to do 4, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. And just right there, I have my equivalent ratio, right? All of these are equivalent going down the line, but this answers the question. If there's 15 sunfish, old Charlie catches 20 bass. Nice. And that is why I love that strategy. And if this was one of those choose alls where I had a bunch of choices, this would let me see a bunch of equivalent ratios or proportions.
This is kind of becoming one of my favorites.
I know, I like a double number line.
All right.
Because all of us can count, right?
Yeah.
4, 8,
Yeah.
12. We can count by 4s or 3s. I don't have to, it's not too complicated.
Ooh,
Lots of words.
That's lots of words. All right, the virtual math classroom has 32 students and the face-to-face class has 20 students. At that rate, how many students would the face-to-face group have if the virtual group has 40 students? Whew! All right.
This looks kind of, I am so sorry.
That's
Mrs.
okay.
Lamb. You were just doing such a good job reading that I totally forgot.
It was all those words though. Oh my goodness.
I got distracted by the words.
And that one is virtual, so I'm gonna put a B there.
That's
And the face-to-face class has 20 students, so I know they're all students, but this is the F2F, face-to-face.
face-to-face. They're in school.
Yeah. At that rate, how many students would the face-to-face group have if the virtual group, this is B, has, I'm gonna use your little strategy here, I'm gonna bubble
I
that,
like a little cloud.
for 40 students. All right, well,
So what key should we set up?
let's set up virtual first. I like to do it in the
Virtual.
same order. We don't have to, but I just
Over
find it's easier.
face to face.
So we have a 32 over, I'll get that,
Okay.
32 virtual over 20 face-to-face. And then the question is saying, at that rate, how many students would the face-to-face have? Oh.
Face to face if there's 40
Yeah.
virtual.
If there are 40 virtual.
So tricky. We
You
know.
I'm gonna butterfly it.
You know what I think we should do, Mrs.
No?
Lamb? I think
No.
we should use the process called loop and circle.
Oh.
Because we've kind of looked at loop and circle before when finding a
You're
missing
right.
number. And we didn't
You're
review it
right.
as a strategy because it helped us find what's missing.
Okay.
So think back to that loop and circle video,
We loop the two numbers that are diagonal and multiply.
right?
I'm
so
just
let's
gonna
do
write it here.
20 times 40. I got your back, Mrs. Lamb. It's
And then
800.
800. My loopy 0 right
Loop,
there.
we multiply.
Okay, and then we divide
Circle,
by
we
the
divide.
circle.
And Miss Lamb, we're gonna have 25 face-to-face students.
25 face-to-face. And I will write that out.
Yeah.
Oops.
So that loop and circle strategy is super helpful because if I looked here, I'm like, I don't know 32 times what would give me 40. I don't really want to make a number line up to 40. That's a lot. And I don't like, I can find this decimal, but I don't want to spend too much time like guessing to find the denominator there. So for that missing number, if it's not obvious, we use that loop and circle.
Which is kind of like a butterfly. You're just finding the
Kind of.
missing
You're finding the
wing.
missing butterfly wing.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome.
All right.
One more.
One more.
Ooh.
Uno mas. All right, so let's try. Because if it gets crazy, guys, I'm gonna loop and circle again.
That's
All right, so let's look. So it says the zoo has to keep a ratio of 21 tigers to every 15 monkeys. I want to go see 21 tigers.
Wow.
That's a lot of tigers. I bet that's like Carol Baskins.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys shouldn't watch that. Never
No,
mind,
don't
just
watch
kidding. Says how many monkeys would the zoo have if they increase the number of tigers to 28? Okay, so let's see.
Wow. crazy zoo. I would love to visit
I
that
know,
zoo.
I'm trying to visit the zoo with all these tigers. The Norfolk Zoo has 3 tigers, and the
Yes.
2 sons can't be out with the dad. Little known fact, the dad will attack the sons. Who knew? Alright, the 21 tigers to 15 monkeys. The nice guy at the zoo told me that. And then it says, if we go to 28 tigers, so categories have to be across from each other. So 21, if I increase to 28 tigers, how many monkeys? Okay. Well, I don't know what times 21 would give me 28. And I can't really do the butterfly effects because I don't have this missing piece and I don't really want to make a double number line. So I'm going to use a loop and circle. So I'm going to take that 15 times 28. 15 times 28
I'm just going to write it for the people.
equals 420.
And then
Divided by 21 is 20. So there's 28 tigers. I have 20 of those silly monkeys. And I like to bubble in my work.
That's where
It helps your teacher, especially if you're face to face.
Ooh, yes.
If you're virtual, it's a little different. All right, but you could use like a highlighter.
Yeah.
All right, if you're confused, watch the next video. But if you feel like you're good to go, go start that practice.